We welcome you back to another episode of RunAway Routes.
RunAway Routes. Where did we leave you last?
Cullum, Alabama.
At the Goat Island Brewing Company.
So now we are headed to Nashville.
Nashville. So we have another friend who, her and her husband and her 3 girls live in Nashville, and we're very happy to see them because we hadn't seen them in, well, again, she didn't have the 3 girls.
Right.
So
And
really
have been
enjoying
married yet?
catching up with these people as we get out on the road and visit.
Yes.
So we had neither of us had ever been to Nashville.
Right.
We were so excited. We're like, the weather. We looked at the weather. It's going to be beautiful in Nashville. It's going to be so great. We picked a nice park. Where did we stay?
The Nashville KOA.
And we picked that one mainly because it was very close, not only to downtown, but also to where she lived.
Right.
So it made it very easy when you're visiting with friends and there's a good RV park nearby. It's perfect.
Exactly.
So we loved Nashville. It was a little chilly when we got there and got set up.
By the way, I was still sick.
You were really starting to feel the illness.
Yeah, it was just in my chest. I had really a bad cough and stuff. So one of the things we did, and super exciting, we went to urgent care.
Yay! Medical on the road.
So,
But it worked out. I mean, we found an urgent care. You weren't in there very long. Got
Nope.
prescriptions. Got started on
in
the
and
medicine.
out. Yep.
But it didn't help your sickness.
Yeah.
That it was also
So cold.
60 degrees colder than it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
So we were charting it. We were looking at the weather. It was supposed to be high 50s, low 60s, which is right on the border of what we like, but still okay. We got there and it dropped to 9 degrees at night. You say 9 degrees, wow, that's really cold. Now, here's my only thing about the KOA. They kind of assumed you know better. I didn't know better.
Right.
If I had known that it was going to get to 9 degrees,
Right.
and I should have looked, I didn't realize that the water would freeze if I didn't leave it running.
Right.
So that's exactly what happened to us. We woke up in the morning and 0 water.
Yep.
So I went down underneath, looked to see what was going on. I could see that it was frozen, even though I had a heated hose, because as I said, I knew it was going to be cold by keeping up with the weather. I didn't realize that I was supposed to do an extra step other than the heated hose. My bad. So I switched this over to house water. Fine, we had plenty of water. KOA was awesome. They came with their heat gun,
Right. Thawing it out.
thawed out the source,
Yeah.
and told me, hey, it's going to be cold the next few nights. Leave your faucet running a pencil thick
Yes.
and have your gray tank open. So if you have never been in that situation, that's what you do.
Right.
If it's going to be,
Didn't something happen to your water regulator?
yes, I'll get to that.
Okay.
So leave it a pencil thick running with the gray tank open. So for us, our sink is our gray water in our kitchen. So we left our kitchen running a pencil thick all night, didn't freeze again. It did affect the pressure regulator. So that was kaput afterwards. Thank you.
You got it.
So thankfully I had a second pressure regulator on board, and now I always have the one I'm using and a backup.
Just in case.
Just in case I mess it up. But otherwise, the spots were nice, and the ones we were in were cement pull-throughs.
This is a nice KOA, for sure.
Yeah, we could have gone to some of the other back-in spots, but we were only there a few days, and they seemed a little short for our 40 plus foot. It's just over 40 feet, plus the Jeep.
Right.
And the bikes. Like, it was just too much.
Yep.
So we went with the longer pull through. Nice dog park. It was a great time. The only negative was we kind of had to alter our episode for Nashville. So if you watch our first visit to Nashville, you'll see that we couldn't do a lot of the things we wanted to do, like go down to Broadway, because it was just, it was
so
17
cold.
During the day.
And the wind chill.
So, I mean, 17 during the day, 9 degrees at night. There is no way I'm going to listen to music and enjoy it.
Right.
So that was the unfortunate part.
Yep.
But we did still find lots of cool things to do. So you can watch that video. I'll put it up here or down below. And then from there, we had a great time with friends, as I said. But from there, we were headed to
Graceland.
So Memphis, Tennessee.
Yep.
We went to the Graceland RV park.
Yes.
Which is,
right
you guessed
there.
it, right next to Graceland.
Hello, Elvis.
Yeah, so it was really awesome because that was the one thing we were doing in Memphis.
Right.
Was to see Graceland and the Elvis experience.
So why not stay at the RV park that's right next to it?
Absolutely.
In walking distance.
Very much walking
Yes.
distance. So it's an interesting park. It doesn't look as inviting as you're pulling in, but the security person was super nice.
Spots were fine.
And the spot was great.
Yeah,
it was really fantastic. And then you could walk from the grounds of the RV park. It wasn't even 200, 300 yards to the Graceland experience, which has all the extra events other than the house.
Right.
So that's where you start, is at the Graceland experience. And you can buy different packages and stuff like that. But it was really cool to see Graceland, which is another episode I'll put below.
Right.
And then we even went to that cool, I think it was Uncle Lou's fried chicken. I don't remember. It was a chicken place that they dunk it into hot sauce.
Yes.
And so that was really close by, and that was really great.
Yeah, that was a neat place. I mean, in Graceland, I wasn't expecting it to just be like a moment in time. I mean, it was just...
Well said.
Yeah, it was...
It was like 1976 cool. Froze in that house.
I took in the kitchen and see appliances from back in the day, and just his own security system with, cameras, and just everything was just right there, his own security system.
And what I found was kind of funny is as we're touring the backyard and by the pool deck, and you look off to the right in the horizon, there's somebody out there barbecuing. Like, these people have their houses that back up to the property of Graceland. And it's like, hey, I'll take one of those burgers.
Yep, they either sold off or they did not buy the land that's behind Graceland.
And the walls aren't very high, which just, it's not how I pictured it. I pictured it off, like big acreage off by itself. And nope, right there, right in the center. So good times in Graceland.
Yes, that was a really fun time.
Please, if you enjoy these runaway routes, please let us know. I know a lot of people have been. That's why we're keeping doing them, telling you about our trials and tribulations. I'm going to talk to you about some issue that we did have as we were leaving Graceland on the next episode, so stay tuned for that. Please hit subscribe, and then they can
leave a comment. We would love to have you let us know what you think of our episode, and if you have any questions or comments about Graceland or Nashville. We had such a great time there, so give it a like. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, so we would appreciate it. Also, follow us on Instagram. We're on Instagram under Runaway with Us RV, and Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest. So we got it all covered.
Sure did. Thank you.
Thank you.